And we're live. Hi, everyone, and welcome to our WhiteBIT AMA series. And today we have as our guest Dash Core Group Business Development Lead, and I dare say a friend of WhiteBIT Exchange, Omar Hamwi. Welcome, Omar. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
So today we are going to talk more about what's been going on with Dash lately, the FastPass network that WhiteBIT is a part of, the trading competition that we have held recently, and we'll be glad to answer all your questions that you have submitted using our Google form that you may have found in our social media. And we'll, of course, take a couple of questions live from our social media. So do leave your questions there. So let's start with just a brief introduction. Omar, could you just tell us a few words about yourself? And for those few people who are hearing about Dash for the first time, a couple of words about Dash.
All right, yeah. So a little bit about myself. I like long walks on the beach. No, okay. So I started off basically at the World Bank. Out of my bachelor's, I worked there on the bank advisory services, credit bureau development in Middle East and North Africa. I got promoted, relocated to DC, where I focused on global credit bureau implementation and so on. I did my MBA, worked on Wall Street for a few years within the management consulting realm, but focusing on financial institutions. And then from there, joined a fintech firm out of Dubai and ended up back. And then, so you can see kind of the progress and how that led to Dash. So both finance and then fintech and then, well, cryptocurrency. Now, to introduce Dash, it is basically it's financial freedom. It allows you to move currency or I guess value across borders in or pay for your goods and services within borders, both highly affordably and instantly. So including settlements. And so, yeah, there's a lot more to Dash, but I'm sure we'll get there.
Yeah, we will. So just this little follow-up question. What was, like, starting at the World Bank, what was this breaking point where you decided to like quit traditional finance and start doing something new and more contemporary in terms of crypto?
Well, there are obviously like certain, the breaking point. That's a really good question. So what got me into, it's basically the value it added. When you work at the World Bank, you kind of see things in a global way, and you start seeing a lot of the differences between countries and where currencies, national currencies are a tool that a lot of governments can use in order to help their people, help their economy, but also when these things break down, it becomes an issue, which leads to several issues. And then enter cryptocurrency as a decentralized global technology, financial technology. You're able to use it to pay for your goods and services no matter where you are in the world. And it's controlled, ideally by supply and demand. And so it was around when I was actually working at Wall Street that I started to become more into cryptocurrency, and I was introduced to Bitcoin because I actually worked in the same building as the first Bitcoin exchange. And so I would go downstairs and I would see all these people huddled around in this one semi-dark room across from a cupcake store. And I started asking myself questions. I did a lot of research and found that it made sense. It made sense overall. So once I got into the fintech side of things, I was able to understand the technology a little bit better, and that helped me get the other side of the coin and understand further the benefits of cryptocurrency. From there, I was sold, and then it's a question of which cryptocurrency. And after reviewing what was available at the time, and I still stand by this statement, that Dash stood out to me as a leader amongst the cryptocurrency, addressing all the issues that the previous cryptocurrencies had. And so, cryptocurrency is the solution to the financial, legacy financial industry, and then Dash is the solution within cryptocurrency.
Right. Okay, perfect. So let's get into the questions that our users have asked using our Google form. And The first one should be a kind of a segue into what we're here to discuss primarily, and that is FastPass. Yeah. So a user asks, what is the end goal of FastPass? What kind of service providers will it unite at its final stage? And what's the timeline for that? And before you get into that, I think everyone would be curious to hear more about the FastPass network itself. What's it about, and why do we need it, and why did you decide to launch it?
Yeah, I think
I will ask you to just speak up a little bit.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
okay. So everyone, you've seen my Dash shirt, so so with the FastPass, basically, I've been focusing on the exchanges, partnerships, and building out our network there for some time. We have Dash differentiates itself, as I mentioned, with its speed, and this is through Instantsend, and then add chain locks to it, which is another feature that requires one confirmation. Instantsend 0 confirmations. They're perfect for payments, but there are obviously benefits within trading. So you're able to trade faster, not just within the exchange, but across exchange. And I mean, withdrawals, deposits, that leads to a number of benefits, like arbitrage and being the first to take advantage of any market opportunity. So, I had been focusing on one exchange at a time, and then I saw basically there was an opportunity, especially within arbitrage, and that's kind of what sparked that thinking, is that there's an opportunity here to kind of connect them in a way where you're able to use Dash to move between exchanges seamlessly. Now, at the moment, you still would have to go through each exchange one at a time, and so there was another issue too, which is people were not aware of which exchanges had Instantsend. In fact, as I was researching, I had to Google it, like which ones have put it. I mean, obviously, unless it's the ones the partnerships that I managed and worked with, but then once I was able to put it all together, I was like, okay, so I think the first step is to now have a centralized point where everybody can see which exchanges have Instantsend. And you know what? It is an extra step for exchanges to put to integrate this feature and detect these transactions happening on the network. And so what I wanted to do is, obviously through some criteria, there was testing involved, and then I said, okay, well, clearly these have a user experience, an enhanced user experience for Dash users. And so I wanted to first recognize these exchanges, like WhiteBIT. It was you guys went above and beyond in that respect, in multiple respects, in not just implementing these features, but also in creating a user experience to make it the whole trading experience seamless, right? And so from there, I realized that not everyone in crypto knows, especially say newcomers, understand what Dash is and its features, and let alone trading. So the vast majority of the market, or the retail market, is spot traders. And so I was like, okay, so now let's say WhiteBIT, you're adding staking, right? That's in a bear market, especially when I came up with this idea, it was it's a way that people can put their funds in an exchange, earn money. Say if you have less than 1,000 Dash, which I think most people would probably say they do, and then you're able to then continue to earn. So you're not just earning when you're trading, but you're earning when you're keeping it. And then now, okay, you've added margin trading. What is that? And so we created an education page as well to complement this as a informational how-to, but also a way to explain these topics in an easily digestible way where you don't have to look it up in multiple different places. So we took the most important information from each topic, put it there, and we're building that out. So we have a good launch cadence, about roughly every week to two. We'll be launching a new topic, and WhiteBIT was I think you guys were the first. And so now in terms of say the partners, then it went from exchanges to okay, what services have Instantsend? What services are within our trading ecosystem? And so that's why we started building it out. What do traders need, right? And they need custody, they need derivatives, they need what's it called, margin, lending, staking, so on. So analysis, analytics tools like Into the Block and Sorry, making it easy for people to access that. So that was the initial goal. Now, the final end stage where we're going is to connect these all in a way that allows you to have a unified point where you can trade Dash seamlessly across FastPass exchanges. And there are benefits to that, which lead to other areas such as, like network liquidity. So liquidity is shared amongst these exchanges just by virtue of people moving Dash quickly back, around them. And then from there, that helps the payments, it helps liquidity for payments, and has spillover effects into other areas like our Venezuela work.
Okay.
That's in a nutshell. But yeah, there's more.
If you want to summarize it in a couple of words, it's basically user experience and education, right? So first you create
user experience and education.
Yeah, and to prove your word, it's basically what we're doing here. Yeah, just recently, yesterday, we've ended the trading competition that we've launched with Dash to show and boost the user experience and to prove that Instantsend really works and it's really fast and you can basically trade without limitations on various exchanges, right? And right now we're holding the AMA session to promote the idea and explain what it is about.
Right, and so we've also brought in automated trading solutions as well.
Right.
That will further enhance this. So basically, I don't want to say removing the human element, but removing the human emotion element, I guess. So you kind of set the trading.
That's a dangerous path.
I know. But yeah, you kind of just make it connected to the exchanges. You configure your trades, and then you let it go, right? And they obviously monitor it and so on. But basically, this will allow you to be able to not just leverage the benefits and user experience and implementation of just WhiteBIT, but of all the exchanges within this network. So that will, especially around arbitrage, that'll be pretty neat.
And just to prove your point, and just to give our viewers a couple of pieces of data about the trading competition that we've had, I ran numbers on that, and we've seen over 1 million 1 million USDT in trading volume for this period on the Dash USDT pair. Over 10,000 orders were completed, and something like 300 users participated. So we can.
Nice.
That was good.
This is the first time hearing about it. That's great.
If you found yourself in the top 30 participants, the reward should already be on its way. So look, check your email if you're there. Yeah.
Well done. Nice.
Okay, perfect. So we now get an idea of what FastPass is and what's its end goal, let's say. And yeah, the next question would tie in well with that. And the user asks, what does it mean for WhiteBIT to be part of the Dash FastPass network? And that's something that I can probably get a good answer on. Yeah. So we've been I think you reached out to us with the idea of FastPass in late summer this year, or maybe earlier. Yeah. And for us, it's of course, firstly, it's great. It's an honor to be a part of this network, and for us, it's of course primarily the better and boosted user experience for the users. We have integrated Instantsend pretty early down the line, maybe a year ago or something, around a year ago. And the FastPass network is a good way for us to let the broader community, let's say, know about it. Yeah, and Dash FastPass goes well in highlighting its partners in the way that they deserve, and it's a mutually beneficial thing, I would believe. And of course, such collaborations as the educational articles are also very important for us, because as an exchange, we're obviously looking to engage more users, engage more people, and not necessarily even those people who are already in crypto, but maybe even those who are not. And promoting such things as staking, which is a way of basically earning interest rate on doing literally nothing. Yeah, that's a good way to target this community of people. So it's great to be a part of the network. It's always been our let's say one of our main I wouldn't say ideas, but opinions about the market, that it is much better to try and build partnerships than rivalries and competitions. Yeah, among big market players. So when we are in a big network with other exchanges that are providing similar services to others, we're just letting users decide like where they are more comfortable, what is they are more comfortable using. So that would be the answer. Do you have anything to add?
No, I mean I do. Just that it's honestly been a pleasure working with you guys. Like I think we've done great things within this FastPass network together, and I see us based on the conversations we were even having yesterday.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to come. So
also, it's curious how like the official launch of FastPass Network just happened just recently, yeah. But you could say that you've been building up to that for the last maybe year, if not more, yeah. There were those little beginnings, but they were not united into one big thing, right?
Yeah. I think like the first step was the integration of Instantsend into large and trusted exchanges, right? Once and trusted being the key, and so we that of course integrations are never quick. They can take quite a bit of time, but going through and doing that and building these relationships and building these partnerships, I think has been the best part of that. But it does take a little bit of time. Now at this point, I mean, and then there was, I guess you could say, a historical idea back 2015, not close to this, but like working backwards, which was around network liquidity. And so there was some of that happening even before I even joined. But now, I guess, is the really fun part, which is, now that we're all together and working together, the imagination is really the limit. Like what we can do with this and the stuff we're working on right now is really exciting. I can't say too much, but like over the next, let's say, there are things in progress up until Q2 of next year already planned out. So everyone's going to see some exciting things.
Great. That's always an exciting thing to hear. Okay, so we can move on to the next kind of a topic, yeah, and it's going to be about so you've mentioned that basically the imagination is the limit, yeah, when we're talking about what else can be added, what else can become part of the FastPass network. So let's talk a little bit about the real life or let's say offline implementation of Dash and crypto in general. And one user asks about the following question. Dash seems to be really popular in Venezuela and other hyperinflation countries. What do you think is the reason why people are choosing Dash there as opposed to other crypto? And maybe also a couple of thoughts about like whether you have and how you're going to proceed with promoting Dash to other countries as good as it is now in Venezuela.
Well, Venezuela is, as you all know, is suffering from hyperinflation, which leads to a number of issues. I mean, cryptocurrency was, I don't want to say exactly designed for that, but it is a very good solution for it. And so it's, it made sense for us. Now, the way Dash works, or at least, I'd say the way that the Dash network works is that we come up with a hypothesis, and this is also applicable to Dashboard Group. We come up with a hypothesis about, adoption. We find, which is basically where our solution meets the greatest need, and then where we basically have a team member, Ernesto Contreras, on the BD team, who is Venezuelan, and so and then my background in the World Bank, and we ended up basically focusing. Venezuela made a lot of sense for us to strategically focus on. So we took a look at the country. We looked at the economy we understood the situation and the issues that people are suffering from. And the best kind of job is the one where you can make an impact. And in Venezuela, there's no shortage of areas you can make an impact in. So what we did is we decided, okay, so hyperinflation, these are the issues in payments. And then we entered the country, and we, in a very strategic way, focused the areas like, first you need this, then you need this, then you need this, and so on. So there was a very well thought out strategy. We have quite a few very active community members and organizations on the ground who had been also conducting their own activities to address these issues. And so Dash Core Group, in conjunction with the community members, together started focusing on these strategic areas. Now, say a lot of, I know that it is, again, an obvious use case. So there are other cryptocurrencies that have also been trying to grow there. Now, they've been trying to grow there, say, from abroad, without maybe the understanding. I mean, these are just theories of mine, of the specific issues, or using a shotgun approach where you blast the crypto all over and see what sticks. But we've taken a different approach, and I think also having that local support who really understand the issues on the ground has gone a long way towards adoption. So I'd say, in summary, it would be a lot of hard work and from the community and Dash Core Group, an understanding of the local issues in the country and our solution, of course, and focused strategy.
Right. I believe we Dash Help is located in Venezuela. Yeah, there is a kind of, I believe we've done an interview with them, and yeah, they seem to be really engaged, and it's good to see that people who are really after an idea, they are seeing what's happening in their country, and they are really looking forward and working hard towards making it better, by using the modern, the modernest of technologies, if you could say that,
Yeah.
Okay, and that's amazing, of course, and great. So let's get to the next question, and it is about your. So a lot of users seem to be curious about the internal workings of Dash as a company, because given that we do have a lot of crypto projects that are either want to remain anonymous or not as public, but Dash does have a pretty public, let's say, governance system, and there are real people behind it, and a real company, and a user asked that, as we know, Dash is famous for its decentralized autonomous organization governance model. So can you please tell us more about the Dash treasury and voting mechanism that supports Dash Core Group and funds projects from the community? So basically, how are decisions made, and anything else that we are interested in.
All right. Yeah. So the way it works is, we'll start off with Bitcoin. So you have basically the block rewards. They go about, not about exactly 100% to miners.
Right.
A lot of currencies follow that model. We do a little bit differently. So we have 45% to miners of the block reward, 45% to our masternode owners, and our masternode owners or masternodes. They perform services for the network. So for example, they process Instantsend confirmations, chain locks. They're essentially the foundation of the FastPass network, right? That possible without them. And then they also are able to vote on proposals, which I'll get to. The last 10% goes to that treasury. And that treasury is where my salary is funded from, where all the community organizations in Venezuela, for example, I was referring to, they're funded from. Everything we do comes from this treasury. Now, in order to receive funding from the treasury, as say you have a great idea, take Andrew, you're like, I have this awesome idea on how I can help Dash, or I want to start a community organization.
I might have a couple.
So Well, perfect. Then this applies to you. Then you just put together a kind of a business proposal, for lack of a better term. You know, what your idea is, how much you're requesting, and then your milestones. That's probably that format, and the cost breakdown, and then you submit it to the network, and you go to either Dash Nexus, Dashcentral.org. Both of those would be, if you want to take a look on in detail how it works. But basically, you submit it there with 5-Dash, which you can also read your proposal piece. You can put it under the cost breakdown and total grant. But anyway, if it passes, basically then the masternode owners go and vote, right? So they vote on this whole list of proposals for that month. It's a monthly cycle. And then there are a certain number of masternodes that have to engage in the voting process. And then there's a certain amount of like a percentage of yeses over nos. There's a few details there. But once, should it pass, you receive your funding, and you go and perform what it is you set out to do. And then there's another organization called Dash Watch, which just kind of helps report your progress to the network and kind of keep you honest, I guess, for lack of better terms. But yeah, in a nutshell, that's how it works. But it allows us, it's all built in within the product protocol level, and it also allows us to be a network-run organization. So there isn't like one company behind it. Dashpay Group is one of many organizations, and the network is within our network, and the network itself runs this. So they make these decisions. Like I think, I'd say about 3 years ago, 4 years ago, there was around Bitcoin's time when they were trying to figure out whether to move from 1 megabyte to 2, something like that. We had a similar decision. It took them about a year to come up with an answer. It took us 36 hours, something like that. So you're able to put a strategic decision, and the network votes on it, and it passes, or it doesn't, About it in a nutshell.
Just one thing I'm curious about: if you are making a proposal, to the for the vote, is it can it be viewed like publicly by anyone, or is it limited just to the masternode owners or the?
Anyone can submit a proposal.
So there is this Dash Center, right? Is that what you said?
Dashcentral.org, and then Dash Nexus as well.
And there you can view all the proposals that are currently under review,
Yeah, and then there's also something else within Dash Nexus called Concepts. I think it's called the Concepts tab. That's basically a pre-proposal. So let's say you have the great idea, you don't want to submit your 5-Dash yet until you're like at least confident that the network likes your idea, and then you want to solicit some feedback on it. You put out your I guess draft proposal, and then people read it and give you feedback on it. You implement that feedback, and then you submit your proposal. That's another way of doing it, but it helps. Especially if you're not if you're new to the network, it helps also.
Or maybe if this has like something similar might have been proposed before, right? And you just want to make sure that you're not repeating anyone.
Right. That's
without scrolling through the loads of data.
It's like Reddit, right? You never want to post those jokes because somebody's already.
Big comparison. And I believe I also heard something about what's it called? Something that you do every week or month or quarter, something like a report to the community, where the Dashcore group says what things they have done, what things they have planned, right?
You know a lot. Yeah. You've done your. So we have a quarterly report. All our executive team, which includes our CEO, like Ryan Taylor, CFO, and so on, and CTO. They all report on their respective areas of the business or of the network. So certain metrics and like Dash platform updates, and roadmap and so on. Business development.
When is the next one? Will you have something before the year's end, or will it be? in
I
2021?
think it was in January, I was told. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not a lot of time left, yeah.
No, it is a lot of work we put into preparing for these. So yeah, I'm glad it's January. End of the
Okay.
year.
Yeah, the next question is a continuation of our discussion about the Dash team, let's say, and the user asks, I heard you're looking for a new CMO. What kind of person are you willing to see in this position, and what will be the focus of your marketing in 2021? Yeah, I've also seen this tweet about the CMO, so yeah.
Yeah, no. So the CMO position, it'll be with Fernando. It'll be big shoes to fill there. So we're not trying to. We're gonna focus instead on the head of marketing. So that's the position that's out there right now. And I'll send you a link to that to put after. But it's basically what kind of person we're looking for. Somebody to support on, of course, some of the branding, brand marketing, but also on the BD support. So we have partnerships, announcements, and integrations all the time. And then there's also Dash platform, updates and marketing around there too. So we're looking for somebody to support across those three areas. There's a job description out there, I believe, on through Ryan Taylor's blog post on our blog. You can go and find it. It'll tell you, what the responsibilities in more detail are. But yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, so for all the marketing geniuses that are watching,
Yeah.
check it out. Great, perfect. The next question: how does smart staking work? Okay, so that's more about WhiteBIT, and yeah, we've touched on this before. It is a way, basically a marketing instrument that allows you to do some passive earning, yeah, without risking the dangers of trading, yeah, especially with the market seemingly like on the brink of something right now. That's my opinion at least.
Good.
So we have, I believe, something like over 30 or something like that smart staking plans for different assets. We have our own WhiteBIT funded smart staking plans, which are for USDT and BTC, and they work in a way that the funds that are deposited there are used to let's say fuel our margin trading and to provide liquidity for our margin trading, and for that we are paying interest rate. And of course there are other plans that are done in collaboration with different projects that are listed in our exchange and that we are partners with, yeah. And of course, chief among them, I would say the most popular probably after USDT and BTC is the plans with Dash, because we have two of them. And basically how it works is you make a deposit, you wait, and then you get back your initial deposit and some interest on top of that. And for Dash, I believe it's something like 7.2% annually, and the interest, the amount deposited should be as little as 0.5 Dash. So it's like it allows even the newbies to try it out. Yeah, and it's also available to like cancel and withdraw your funds if you need them urgently without any limitation. Yeah, so if you put them for 3 months, even like 10-minute passes, you can just cancel it and withdraw, and your funds will go back to you without any fees or something. But you will not receive the interest, of course. Yeah, but like it's something that we like to call the soft lock. Yeah, so it's basically there, but it's always publicly, readily available. So I believe that's a good explanation. And of course, there is a great article that we have released together with Dash just over probably a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, and it's available both in that, maybe more. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably it's all blending together. I know.
You can find it both on Dash.org and on our WhiteBIT Medium channel. Yeah, so there is a lot of information. There is comparison of masternode staking and smart staking at WhiteBIT, and some guidelines on how to try it.
There's if you go to the FastPass Fastpass.org, and you click on education, you'll see it there.
Right, perfect. Let's jump to the next question, and it is the following. When are you going to release your most awaited Dashpay wallet? Can you reveal some of its features?
Ooh, big question. Well, I have good news. So you can actually go and sign up for our alpha program right now and download the the alpha version of it, of the Dashpay wallet. One of the key features that it will allow, and this is really across Dash platform, is to create a profile. And this profile, you'll be able to use it across all applications that are built on Dash platform. So not just Dashpay, but Dash platform. So if you want to look at it another way, 2020 was the year of social distancing. 2021 will be the year of like social payments. So Dash will be, Dash will be to crypto what Facebook and Twitter were to social networks. So you'll have, like, I guess the closest comparison in the US would be Venmo, but like more, if you want to look at it that way. But yeah, I'll send you the link to it. As far as like when, I'd say I can't tell you exactly because I'm not really developing it, but I can tell you it's going to be next year. That's because the alpha version's out. I wouldn't, you can go ahead and try it now.
Yeah, and I assume we can hear more about it in your next quarterly report, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and the link, of course, we will probably include it into the description of this video that's going to be posted on our channel. So for everybody interested, of course, do check it out. Okay, and that concludes the pre-submitted questions that we had from our users. Let me just make sure that I mentioned all of them. Yep. So now we can jump and take just a couple of live questions, and I see that there are quite a few of them in the YouTube comments. So let's scroll through them. Oh, somebody from my colleagues has a birthday, and there's a lot of applause going on.
Oh, happy birthday!
Yeah, hope it's not too noisy. Okay, so yeah, this is a good one probably. Can you see it on the screen? What do you think government's approach to privacy coin is? What will you do about it? And it actually raises a good point about Dash not actually being a privacy coin, right?
Yeah, no, thank you. That's accurate. Like Dash is not a privacy coin. We've earned a reputation for a few marketing mistakes back in 2014, where we were branded as, for example, the branding of Darkcoin, and we were one of the first to implement CoinJoin, and that's really what the privacy feature is. It's CoinJoin, and it's available on our desktop wallet, and that's basically it. CoinJoin, if you know about privacy in crypto, it's basically a spectrum, and CoinJoin is used by any transparent blockchain. Actually, it was originally built for Bitcoin, and so we are no different on the protocol level regarding privacy than Bitcoin. Now, in terms of like what, and I mean, we have if you go to our regulations page within Dash, you'll see our whole argument, and I'm ready to give that whole argument at any point too. So, but as far as like how governments are treating privacy coins, say like a more privacy-centric coins with like shielding and so on, basically anything that obfuscates, the sender information or amounts and so on, around AML, that's really what their issue is. So what their concern is money laundering, right? And so with privacy coins and not being able to tell where funds are coming from, that's a concern for them. And so they are regulating it pretty heavily. And some countries, and then a little bit lighter in others where they're just like, well, as long as, like, for example, with an exchange, you have to go through KYC, similar to a credit card. And so your whatever transaction you send there, the exchange will know who it's from. And because they're using KYC, AML, service providers, like blockchain intel, chain analysis, and so on, you're able to then identify all the information you need, filter for privacy transactions, etc. And so then you have on the more stricter side of the spectrum, they're like, I don't care if you can filter it or not. We don't want it. We have to what they call New York green list and other countries white list these cryptocurrencies, and those are the cryptocurrencies that are allowed to trade in the country. And so they're taking different approaches, but they all stem from the FATF travel rule, and the regulators look to each other to also get ideas, get information, and so what you could have, like for example, in Asia Pacific, you'll have one country that comes out with a certain set of laws.
Yeah, and everybody starts like,
yeah,
copy my homework, but don't make it too obvious.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So you see a lot of that, very similar laws come out in certain regions, and so if you want to see what governments are going to be doing in certain regions, just look to the first one that's come out with the regulations, and you can probably more or less guess, how the others are going to, sway. Yeah.
Perfect.
Reiterate, Dash is not a privacy coin.
You've made that clear. Dash, what's there? Hello there, Dash is best OG in crypto.
Oh, awesome! Thank you.
Yeah, there is one from Telegram, and it's how has Dash come through the Corona pandemic? And that's a pretty relevant question, yeah.
Yeah,
probably being a decentralized like governance system that you are, it hasn't disrupted like your communication in any major way, right?
No, I mean, other than like personally, getting a little bit of a cabin fever, just during lockdown and taking all those steps, which we all should do. There is a as far as like Dash is concerned, I feel like there's a joke that I'm sure Andrew you also use, and everyone in crypto who's working on projects and within exchanges and other companies use, which is we've been ready for this coronavirus for a really long time. We've kind of been quarantined for more than 2 years ourselves, just working hard, and that work level has not changed. If anything, I'd say it's picked up quite a bit. So we've been incredibly busy, busier than ever at points, and I think it's because there are certain external factors too, like what's happening now, stemming from recognition large name brands are giving to cryptocurrency and adopting it, and then that's spilling into institutional investors and so on. And so there's the quantitative easing, economically speaking, across countries is say raising inflation to some degree, right? And so the interest rates are low, and as a result, cryptocurrency has been attractive, right? So for example, Bitcoin has been attractive through its narrative of digital gold and so on. So and I know I'm tangenting a bit, but like basically as far as like, this is to help explain that cryptocurrency has been doing really well, or at least like it's really well, and say, it's been more adopted, more recognized, more used, and as a result, Dash has as well, and so we've been very, very busy, and so like we've been dealing with it on a network level pretty well.
Perfect. So yeah, basically from all the industries that I've seen, crypto probably was one that was the most well prepared for a scenario like this, yeah, because it is the most centralized of those, yeah.
It definitely does.
People seem to be asking, like, what are your most immediate plans for 2021?
Well, we have the quarterly report that's coming out.
Yeah, probably the best way would be to tune in.
Yeah. Now, and then in terms of FastPass, and I know WhiteBIT's working on something similar, as well as a lot of other partners. And so as far as like on the trading side, we have plans to extend our FastPass network, more partners, but also like focus on institutional, side of trading as well. Provide them with what they need, and bring them into more into crypto and more into Dash, hopefully. And then
there seems to be like a lot of news about all those hedge funds and major institutional players moving into crypto just like over the last month or so, because there is a lot of interest, and of course we should all use it.
Yeah, no, definitely. And so I think like that there's a way to do it as well, and it's very strategic. And you guys are doing this, and we're doing this, and we should talk. But but basically, that's you're going to see a lot of developments in terms of that, in terms of institutional trading on the retail side as well. We're going to be, like I mentioned earlier, up until Q2, there are, and obviously beyond, we'll make new plans there or add stuff as we get there. I mean, but right now there's certain solutions that are being built that will fully leverage the benefits of FastPass and the seamless user experience that you'll have, that will make your life in as far as trading very, very easy. Now, in terms of the other developments that we have coming out in 2021, the biggest one, right? And I only say trading first because that's my area, but really the biggest one is Dash Platform. And Dash Platform is obviously going to be, it's revolutionary. It hasn't been done. It's a new technology. No other cryptocurrency uses something similar, but it's going to allow use cases where also here imagination is the limit. So every time I have a discussion with our head of product, who's leading development of the Dash Platform, as well as our CTO, we come up with these ideas that are just almost like kind of like so out of the box, and then we realize, oh wow, this will actually be possible with that platform.
Yeah.
So it's going to allow things that we haven't even imagined yet, and so that's why this is going to be so large. But I'd say those are the big two, and then obviously in Venezuela things are growing very rapidly, and that's a other strategic direction. We've been building out an ecosystem there, and so if you look at last year, like 2019, around this time to 2020, we had been amazed in 2019 how much the ecosystem has grown and how many partners and so on. In 2020, this is completely different. It's even more large, and like the scale is and in 2019 we couldn't have imagined 2020. So right now, Dash has been adopted by major retail stores, like I guess the Walmart equivalents in Venezuela, and then the Safeway equivalents, the CVS equivalents, and so on. And so this, by 2021, we the strategy I've seen for 2021 is going to be very exciting as that will grow even further. Liquidity, for example, of Dash addressed. Where and then more people are able to spend and use it seamlessly within Venezuela as a form of payment, store value, and so on.
Yeah, you could probably make a claim that coronavirus, in a way, has even sped up some of those developments, right? In terms of the adoption, yeah. Because even ourselves, we saw an influx of users during the lockdown period, and like having studied it, we came to a conclusion that it was either out of boredom or out of desperation. Yeah, so people were either locked at their homes and had nothing to do, so they went checking this thing called crypto they heard about, yeah, or they have just been let down by their government and their job, and were looking for an alternative. Yeah, so that's
absolutely.
Okay, so I believe these were the most burning questions that we had. A lot of users, of course, a lot of users seem to be asking about the plans, but of course you can tune into the Dash quarterly report to hear more about that. So I think we can wrap it up here. Yeah, did you want something to say?
Yeah, just to add with the quarterly report, it
Yeah.
is also a really great opportunity to ask questions to
Uh-huh.
the CEO and so on. So there is a live Q&A section.
Are you going to be in it?
Well, I think so. Well, Ernesto spoke last time, so we'll see. But yeah, so like you can basically ask any questions as well you have there, you know, that we didn't manage to get to here. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, so prepare your questions for this next chance to ask them. Yeah, and this AMA session, I believe we can wrap it up. And this probably is going to be the last YouTube session in this year. We do have another Telegram session planned for next week, but in terms of YouTube, that's going to be the last event. So see you in 2021. Omar, thanks a lot for coming in. It was great chatting with you, as always.
Same here.
Yeah, for all of you who have saw or rather heard your question answered here, you will receive an email with a small reward for your activity, and we of course appreciate your engagement. And yeah, do try Dash, experience the Instantsend on WhiteBIT, experience smart staking. There are a lot of things coming from Dash and WhiteBIT moving forward, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so thanks a lot. Happy holidays to you. I hope you will rest a little bit.
Same with you.
Good.
And happy holidays, everyone.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Bye.